Good afternoon, everyone. And yesterday there was a question someone asked. They said that because they find that how to make the mind peaceful and calm, because sometimes you sit there and very emotional, and how to make this sluggishness of the mind become peaceful and calm. You don't try to make it peaceful and calm, you can't do it. They said sometimes, that's what the Buddha's mentioned in this Anapanasati, the mindfulness on breath. Actually, people don't spend enough time to establish present moment awareness. Sometimes people quickly rush into it and sit on the cushion, and then they're using willpower and try to focus on the breath. Actually, it doesn't work like that because you don't spend enough time. That's why the Buddha said present moment awareness had to be fully established when you practice mindfulness of on breath. So before that, you have to spend enough time to prepare yourself. You can't just sit there, because sometimes people don't see that actually it's counterproductive. You make it worse. Because when you just sit down and you try to use willpower to try to focus on, because you are not come from that present moment awareness, because you have the present moment awareness because it's fully established, then it's very easy. You can do it effortlessly. You'll be able to just watch your breath easily. But because it's not, the present moment awareness not fully established, then most people try to use willpower. So whenever you use willpower, actually, you're agitating the mind. You're stirring the mind up because you're pushing the mind. Try to do that, try to focus. Actually, it's counterproductive. I think you make it worse, you become more restless, and then because of a trigger your agitation, you become so agitated, and that's why you can't. That's why it's very important. So that's why meditation actually is one part of the whole path. So that's why what gone before you sitting on the cushion is important. How you live your life. It's not that you just, I need to do, I'm very busy, and then the whole day you're being very mindless, whatever you do, you're rushing from one thing to another, and then you think that you can sit down and meditate. You can't do that. That's why sometimes it's important the way you live your life, how you live your life, in your daily life. They say try as much as you can, to put into practice, whatever you do, develop that present moment awareness. So if you be able to do that, whatever you do, actually it's easier when you meditate, because this is the whole, when people ask, what kind of meditation, actually when we talk about meditation, actually it's more like, we said bhavana is more like, it's not only just sitting on the cushion, or what kind of meditation you practice, or mindfulness on breath, or whatever, metta, is actually is more like a cultivation of mind. You need to cultivate, you need to train your mind. So that is the whole path of meditation is just one part of the whole path, but you have to take up the whole path. They say it's important. They say someone generous, someone kind, someone virtuous, then actually it's important. Morality is important because morality is a prerequisite for a peaceful mind. So if you're not virtuous, if you're always very mindless and careless, and someone that is not really considerate, not really kind and not generous, and that that affects you, because your mind very difficult to become peaceful. So that's why you need because generosity is also part of morality. They said the Noble Four Paths, they start with right views, right understanding. Because if you don't have the right understanding, so you will have the wrong motivation. So when you have the wrong motivation, there was a wrong motivation. Then actually, when there is a right motivation, so they motivate you to renounce, renounce your, let go of your material things, renounce being violence, and renounce, let go of being harmful. And this is part of that. And then the way we act, the way we speak, right speech, right action, and right livelihood, how you earn, the way you live your life, how you earn your living. Because that really that contribute towards that part of that contribution to the mind, be very difficult to become peaceful. We know for ourselves, isn't it? Sometimes we say something that we are unable to bite back our tongue. We say something that afterwards, oops, I should restrain myself not to say that. Or sometimes you have an argument. You can't just sit, isn't it? That go on and on and on. They say sometimes you need a bit of time, that it's more like a transition period. You have to calm yourself down first. But actually, calming the mind down is not that difficult. I mean, it sounds easy, but it's also not that easy because letting go is not trying to get rid of things. Actually, letting be. So there's nothing outside of us that causes trouble. So actually, our trouble is come from actually we are the one who create the waves in our mind. If you let the mind it is, actually it will calm itself, will calm down by itself. But then it sounds very simple, isn't it? It's very simple, but not easy to do that because we always tend to involve. Because come from the sense of self, we want to evolve, we want to get rid of it. So getting rid of what you don't like, because it's like anything that is unpleasant. And actually getting rid of things is not letting go. So actually letting go is letting things be. It's okay. This is how I feel. Okay, this moment I feel agitated. You let it be. You accept that, observing, observe, acknowledge, accept. It's okay. This is how I feel. So you leave it alone, it will subside by itself. But the harder you try to get rid of it, you try to push it away, it stays longer. They say sometimes it's important. If you want your meditation, they say sometimes you have to check why. I feel so agitated and irritated. Then you have to see what went before you sit on the cushion. They say it's important in your daily life. Try to practice that. Try to apply present moment awareness and make it a habit. When you be able to fully establish your present moment awareness, you can sit, to watch your breath or observe your breath effortlessly. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to use willpower. You don't have to use any force. All you need to do, all your energy is not doing. You're not doing meditation. You're not to try to make things happen. It's okay. This is what's happening. All you need to do, recognize, acknowledge, accept. And then if anything that you find, if you have any remorse or any guilt that you carry, you forgive and you let it be. And this is a part of training of the mind. This is how you train, fully aware. So all your energy into knowing, into aware of that, not into doing, is not into getting rid of it. Because when you do that, actually you reinforce the underlying tendency of ill will. Because whenever that unpleasantness, you easily trigger the underlying tendency of ill will. You don't like it. So then the more you use willpower to push it away, you reinforce that. You reinforce your ill will, become stronger. So next time, if you continue to force yourself to sit, eventually you don't like to meditate anymore. Because each time you use willpower, actually you are stirring your mind up, you agitate your mind. And it's very difficult to become peaceful. Then we think that we can use willpower to make the mind. You think that because I'm not peaceful, because I cannot focus enough. So then I have to force myself, you have to force yourself to focus, then if I can focus, I'll be peaceful. No. The mind naturally, you have to put in the causes. They say sometimes it's important that what went before you sit on the cushion is important. So actually don't forget, meditation is only part of the whole path. So that's why you have to take up the whole path, There is a right view, right motivation, and right speech. Because when you have the right view, then you have the right understanding. When you have right understanding, you have the right motivation. So then you're on the right path, and then there's a right speech, right action, because sometimes it affects us. How during the day, the way how we behave, the way we speak, the way we act, actually that affect us. It's not that you, sometimes people think that they can just, they can just busy the whole day, very mindless, and then not present at all. Then they think that they can just sit down and just close and then meditate. You can't do that. It's just our vehicles, Your mind is so busy. It's just our vehicles travel 150 kilometers per hour. You make it stop immediately. Can you stop that? You can't, isn't it? The whole vehicles will topple over, it will crash, So that's why sometimes it takes time. So no need to rush, no time. People think that I don't want to waste time. No time to waste, Sometimes actually you make it worse. Actually, rather than have any progress, actually you make it worse. So it's no care. Because you spend all the time sitting there. Even sometimes you find that you sit there, very difficult. Even just a couple of breaths you can focus on, and then you wander off again. Then, but you're aware that your mind wander off, and then okay, never mind. You observe what's happening, and then fully knowing your mind is wandering off, and then you acknowledge that. And then you know that, you're being carried away by thoughts, You know that. And then, you just re-establish your mindfulness, go back to your breath again, and just sit there knowing what's happening. Even maybe hardly you'll be able to really focus on your breath, but you just do it, relax, and then full attention, aware of what's happening, fully aware. After an hour, you still feel peaceful. But if you struggle, if you're forcing it, I can tell you an hour you feel very tired. You'll be very, very tired, because we have people come and tell me that, I'm sitting for an hour. I feel so tired after an hour. I said, because you use too much willpower, you're forcing yourself you cannot force yourself to focus on the breath, You cannot force your mind. You have to come. Actually, it's a natural. Enlightenment itself is a natural process. It's a process. So you have to understand that. You have to see that, and not to force it, not to use willpower. So that's why establish present moment awareness before you start your, whatever meditation, especially with anapanasati, mindfulness on breath. When they sit there, sometimes just sitting there, relax your body, and just aware, of what's happening. Just aware that your mind is busy. Just aware that your mind keep wandering off. Just aware of that. Just knowing what's happening. And slowly, when your mind become more peaceful and your mind become calm, then only you start, to put your awareness on your breath, your attention on your breath, observing your breath. No need to rush into and sit down and watch your breath. It's counterproductive. It's not going to help you, and also you will sometimes it's trigger your underlying tendency, and you reinforce your underlying tendency, especially with unpleasantness. That you trigger your ill will, and then you got very agitated and irritated. It's not going to help at all. But of course, it's not easy for not to get into, because it's not easy to not get into the thinking, and because the unpleasantness, sometimes normally the emotion will follow by thinking, because the thinking is come from, depends. Some people have very strong underlying tendency, proliferation. The thinking is come from the mind proliferation, the tendency of proliferation. Then the mind will keep thinking. That's why sometimes these people have very strong, tendency of that. Sometimes just it's very difficult, especially your mindfulness, your present moment awareness is not fully established. It's very difficult to let it be. Somehow you still get sucked into the thoughts. But then another way you can help, you can use, is to just do the breathing exercises, just breathing in the agitation, the unpleasantness, just breathing in and breathing out peace, breathing in unpleasantness, breathing out peace. And this is how you condition your mind. And that gives the psychological imprint in your mind that it's okay, I make peace if that is unpleasant. Because when you develop the habit of getting rid of anything that is unpleasant, and anything that unpleasant. Actually, when you develop that habit, it's become like a default setting. Then it's always, whenever there is trigger, you ill will, and then you keep reinforcing your ill will. So that is it's also helped you. You can do that. They say sometimes no need to rush. You find it very difficult, you can go back. You can do the breathing exercise, and then you go back to body contemplation. So until you feel really calm enough, peaceful enough, because mindfulness on breath meditation, mindfulness on breathing, actually is more subtle compared to body contemplation. When you have mindfulness, awareness of your body, feeling sensation, because the feeling sensation and the body awareness, aware of your body sensation and feelings, is a causal object, because it's easier to go with a causal object, because the breath is a more subtle object. Sometimes you have to go back. You have to go back to the causal object rather than forcing it. It will be counterproductive. Or sometimes people, people get into, when your mindfulness is not powerful enough, your mindfulness is not strong enough. Sometimes when you get into the subtle breath, because your mindfulness is not strong enough to be able to observe the subtle breath, and your breath started to become peaceful. Sometimes people drift, isn't it? And then they half sleep, But it's nice. But actually, the mind is really down. That's you're half sleeping, and that's sometimes it's better that It's good that sometimes when you get into that, half sleep, you just drift into that. Actually, it's good that you just put a little bit effort in your breath, make it a little bit coarser, because the breath is too refined, and your mindfulness is not refined enough to be able to observe that. Then you have to go back to the causal object. So you can make your breath a little bit coarser, but not too hard. Don't do it. Don't do that, because then you stir your mind. So it's like very, just a little bit effort, put it in there. Then you continue. That's why sometimes people rush into that, see a little bit, they're so excited, nimitta coming, and then they're like trying to catch, trying to focus. Sometimes, especially those kind of nimitta, that flicking type, actually, we always encourage people, don't try to focus, because it's not stable. Go back to breath. You need to go back to the breath, and then you have to cultivate, you have to develop your mindfulness. As your mindfulness strong enough, then only you'll be able to focus on. You have to train, your mind have to be refined enough to go with the refined object, but you cannot use willpower to force yourself to go with the more refined object. And this is like it's okay. No time to lose. Just take a bit of time. Just relax your body. Just do some body contemplation. Just aware of your body sensation, feelings, and just relax your body. And sometimes when you relax your body, it helps you. Your mind calm down naturally. Then after you feel that it's calm enough, peaceful enough, only you start, to put your awareness, attention onto your breath, because breath is a more subtle object. You can't push, you can't rush into it. So you have to give a bit. Most people, especially sometimes even seasoned practitioner also make that mistake. Meditator also make that mistake and rush it, because you think that I've been meditating so long, that they think that, I can just do it. Actually, you can't. You still have to, because sometimes it depends on how you've been before you sit on the cushion. Sometimes your life a bit busy, a bit more things, a lot of things happening. That's why you have to be really patient, Okay, spend a little bit of time. So that's why spend more time to fully establish your present moment awareness before you focus on a more refined meditation object. So that's today. I just offer you for that reflection, and we can start meditate now. Just take a bit of time to establish the present moment awareness. And you bring your awareness to your body. Just aware of your bodily feeling, sensation, and try to relax your body as much as you can. If there's any tightness and tension in your body, just relax. Fully aware of your bodily feelings, sensations. If there is any tightness or tension in any parts of your body, just relax. Just relax your body as much as you can. Just take 3 deep breaths with full attention to unite your body and mind to arrive in this present moment. Acknowledging, observing whatever happens in this moment, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant. Acknowledging, observing, patiently waiting in this moment with awareness and understanding what happens is what happening. Not try to experience something that you have read or you have heard about. And let go the need of achieving something or to get something. Be aware of the present moment. Notice when mind lost in thoughts about the past, and notice the mind carried away by thoughts about the future. Apart from observing and acknowledging, learn not to get involved or entertain those thoughts when they arise. Just knowing they are there and just let it be. Just simply observing, acknowledging, accept, and let it be. So not rushing into. Focus on your breath. Just spend a few more moments. Just being aware of what's happening. Observing, acknowledging, accept and let it be. Until your mind becomes calm. When your mind becomes calm, you can start to put your attention onto your breath, fully aware of your in and out breath. With awareness and understanding. If you notice your mind wander off again while you're observing your breath, and just very gently acknowledging that your mind wander off, and then just very gently and bring your mind back to your breath again. Any questions or comments?
Hi, I just wanted to ask around an experience I have with meditation. Is sometimes I can tell that I'm getting into a deeper state of meditation when the entire field of my vision turns purple, and I know it's something that I can't force because it has a very different quality to it and it doesn't come with the same relaxation as letting that occur naturally. But I was just wondering if you have any insight on the kind of visual phenomena while meditating.
Can you repeat the questions again?
Just that, like, when meditating, sometimes I'll get, like, my vision will go entirely purple. And I'm just wondering if there's any kind of insight as to visual phenomena.
So you have the visual of the bubbles. Okay. Is it when you're meditating?
Purple, yeah, when I'm meditating.
Okay. Actually, sometimes when you meditate, sometimes you do experience different things. Sometimes people feel that their body expanding, and then and actually all you need to do, if you're doing breath meditation, you just keep going back to your breath meditation, and you keep going.
Okay, so you suggest that our approach should be to just notice those phenomena and
Yeah,
just let them...
just notice that
Yeah.
and just let it be.
Yeah.
Because sometimes some of those things, like for example, sometimes when you meditate, some people feel like that the body like explosion, and they feel, because there is the air element, and the moving, and then people are so scared, my body explode. But actually, because of when your mind become very peaceful and calm, then you experience things that normally actually is always there, but like the four elements is always there. But when your mind become peaceful and calm, and you be able to feel that, like you become really, everything that you experience, you become amplified. For example, when you come out from meditation, even someone speak very softly also is very loud because your mind become peaceful and calm. So sometimes whatever, you just... some people feel that the body becomes like so big, and then and some people told me they have the visual like a picture, like a picture. Then I said, okay, you just go back, because sometimes very easily when you go into that, actually then you're not still, then your mind is going into that kind of, you start to think, then you just knowing is there, whatever is there. So meditation is that you knowing what is happening, but that time when you're meditating, we don't try to analyze or try to think of what is it, just know that it's there, and then you just go back to your breath again.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm getting you correctly, but like I said, it's a phenomena I notice when...
So is it when you're peaceful?
Yeah, when I get into, because I feel that meditation, when I do it, has multiple layers that I kind of progress through. And then what ends up happening is I'm having that phenomena, but I'm asking more just because, like, effectively, I know that holding on to that phenomena kind of pushes me away from it. So it sounds like the best way to do it is just to see that as a stepping stone and let that just...
Yes.
Yeah.
Because when you're holding on to that, then actually you're already not on your, you're not practicing, you're not on your object anymore, you're aware. So there's sometimes that drags you suck into that, you just keep going, just knowing what's happening. So all your energy is into knowing what is happening. Because very easily we got carried away. And what is this, what is that, then you're no longer, then, just that you're no longer being present. So whenever you say, what is that? Then actually you're not just knowing what is happening.
That's, exactly, I think what I was trying to get at and avoid, because I didn't want to be taken in by the phenomena, and then it's like, I'm chasing that phenomena rather than...
Okay. So any more questions or comments? So any more questions or comments? Okay, no questions. Everybody happy? Satisfied, happy customers, okay? Okay, so any more questions, comments? Going? Going? Okay, gone.